In a bear market, it's highly critical that you do lots of research. This is where money is made. And of course, I've got a fire video for you today about decentralized exchanges or DEXs. Have Uniswap just pulled one of the best moves in the entire crypto space? Now, of course, I'm not just talking about Blackrock, but I'm also talking about their update on GitHub, which provides Claude code skills for integration by developers or normal people into the Claude code base using the Uniswap swaps. So this is very, very interesting stuff. You all know agentic AI is absolutely everywhere. Claude and Molbot, and of course, Sam Altman and OpenAI buying off the entire Claude team. This is very, very important. Smash a like, because in a bear market, this is the type of research you need to do. From a fundamental standpoint, the first thing that people will do is they will always look at price. Now, all-time low for Uniswap was around $1.09. All-time high was $44. I'm never interested. I'm looking at the market cap chart, not the price. Price is irrelevant to me, but I'm looking at the market cap chart here to understand whether my value of interest has been reached. And in a bear market, it comes down always to around this $2 billion market cap level, then it leaves. So Uniswap all of a sudden has become interesting for me from a institutional demand perspective and from a vibe coding, AI agents integrations. Of course, this is the other key thing. So we will talk about the others as well. I will give you some maybe perhaps lower cap ones that you know, but this is creme de la creme, creeping up to $3.44, going under the radar while they have done some of the largest announcements recently. Now, of course, if it's all about the money, then this has always been a project that is beyond most people's reach. 8 billion in TVL, 2 billion in market cap, 2 billion, 10x if you're looking for a particular gains in a bull market. Having said that, if you look at this, I mean, a 10x will put it back to its all-time high. But I think it does, next time the market runs, it does get a significant exposure from Wall Street, and that's why BUIDL is testing the waters right now. So again, like I said, this is not just only about Uniswap, but we need to understand what's happening in this space. So smash a like, guys, and let's continue going through this video. Now, of course, BlackRock's BUIDL fund available to trade via Uniswap. Okay, great. What does that mean? It enables on-chain trading on BUIDL, unlocking new liquidity options for the holders. Of course, bridge the gap between traditional finance and DeFi. Now, why are they doing this on Uniswap? Because Uniswap is the most kind of, Ethereum is the most cash-rich protocol out there, right? So institutions don't want to double down on our degen low cap gems or whatever. This is a real RWA, and of course the leader of the DeFi space here on Ethereum is, of course, Uniswap. We could argue about Hyperliquid for perpetuals and others, but this is where the action is at. Now, of course, this is institutional digital liquidity fund, or known as BUIDL. Shares available to trade on via Uniswap. Yes, we understand that, but for me, the more fundamental thing that Uniswap have done is the integration of Claude skills into their setup. And this is going to be quite important, because every time you have something like the Claude or the MCP market with agent skills being made available, the overall value of the chain will pick up, because these DeFi AI agents do trade autonomously. Now, what is this all about? This Claude integration, of course, and why is this skill important? So it integrates Uniswap protocols, swap functionality into web applications and backend scripts and smart contracts using trading APIs and universal routers. Now, of course, what that means is, developers can now take this skill and run it, and of course, integrate these core functionalities into their code base. Okay, that means they can execute transaction on chain via universal routers, automate routing, multi-chain support on Ethereum, not just Ethereum, but Arbitrum, Base, Optimism, Polygon, any EVM compatible chain will be able to run on this. So patterns for both high-level SDK as well as low-level manual integrations are available. Smart contracts are, of course, going to be executing functions, and they are going to be available on this scale. And you can build custom DeFi trading UIs. Again, it opens up Uniswap and the backend into more developers, integrating swap logic directly into smart contracts. And this is very, very big in my opinion. And if you want to, you'd see the whole entire code base and access to the GitHub, sorry. So Uniswap, okay, is a fundamental infrastructure. Again, you want the market cap to come down, you want the prices to come down, you want to take advantage of any pumps. Look where we are, historic lows. If we wick down a little bit more, we get to all-time low territories. And that was the October wick. You could see right here, October 7th was when literally this went to $1.89. So we should have that closure of that price no matter what. But what does this mean for us in terms of the overall landscape when it comes to having a cryptocurrency and ranking them as the best or the worst in terms of where they are? So here's what I think, in my opinion. This actually puts Uniswap as the king of DEXs. Okay, Uniswap, without a shadow of a doubt, the most recognizable brand, especially if they are open into AI agents. They all do anyway. I mean, Hyperliquid is also a very good choice when it comes to the opposite, which is like not only a DEX, but also a, you know, these are the top protocols in their niches. In my opinion, Hyperliquid is also a king there. Now, anything to do with Solana, their king is Jupiter. And we will look at these in terms of prices, in terms of the value, of course, and then the BNB chain. Although I'm less of a bull in terms of BNB, I would say it is the king of the chain there, BNB. So these are the kind of leaders in terms of their respective decentralized exchanges. And of course, there's difference between all of these. There's, you know, DEX aggregators, you know, there's automatic market makers, there's just, you know, derivatives like your Asters. And I think, you know, at the moment I'm kind of neutral to being a crown prince for Aster. Radium is another one that I think over time will do very well, but for now it's in the neutral base. And then of course you have smaller DEXs. By the way, I'm taking all categories like Bluefin, which is super risky, and you've got Aerodrome, which I believe will be a supreme play in terms of where it is in the base liquidity. So I'm giving you a wide range. I'm not speculating on, you know, 100 different DEX plays, but also there are smaller ones that we can pay attention to. Okay, and this is going to be a key for me. Like, you know, what is the number one DEX for Near Protocol? What is the number one DEX for Say? What is going to be the number one DEX for Sui? And so forth and so forth. You can't play that game, and you can't actually you know, play that game to win in terms of where it ends up for you as a trade, but very risky. What I've actually done here is any of these will have a significant power. I mean, I'd probably bring down Pancake Swap to neutral, but I think Jupiter, Hyperliquid, and of course Uniswap are clearly the gigantic respective leaders of their range. So I would probably say that is the way I would play right now. I'm not looking to get a micro cap DEX play, something like a Ragnar. If you look at, for example, some of these other ones. You have Cetus Protocol here. Imagine 14 million. Trader Joe at 14 million, sorry. But if you look at, for example, this Ragnar DEX, which is just has the best chart, one of the best charts in crypto, right? It is, you know, I haven't done a contract audit here. Fully diluted $11 million, 25 million max supply. I would probably say more on the risky side, right? Because this is a tiny, tiny cryptocurrency, despite you seeing the chart going this way. Of course, $5 million, this will not be financial advice, but there are others that you can actually go on to, too many to name them. But really, the premise of my video was to actually show you the power of Uniswap and what really, really matters. Uniswap with Claude, Uniswap with the scale in the MCP marketplace, Uniswap with a BUIDL fund. Looks very, very good for Uniswap in my opinion. Not financial advice, but that's where if I'm about to put, say, I don't know, $10,000 or into a DEX, of course, I would look at the top end of the spectrum. So anyway, smash a like. Let me know if you like what I'm presented you in a bear market. And of course, as always, leave your comments in the video. God bless you all, guys. Take care.